and it says I'm live. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Welcome to Build Wealth Wednesdays. And I've been reading a little bit this week about Owen Sherwinger. I've been reading a little bit of his work and relating to Schrodinger's cat and some of his books. And interesting how he relates physics and the concept of entropy into life, into our life. So essentially, what he says is that if you don't organize your life, nature will organize your life. Actually, no. Let me correct that. If you don't organize your life, nature will disorganize it. So I want to speak today about how that, allowing nature to disorganize it, which is called entropy, I want to talk to you about how that will have a direct impact on your wealth building. So my name is Judy V, and I work with entrepreneurially minded people to build financial freedom so that they can have the freedom in life that they deserve. So today I want to talk about how entropy has a direct impact on your ability to build wealth. So as I said at the beginning, if you don't organize your life, nature will disorganize it. And that essentially is called entropy. And that is essentially going from order to disorder. And then let me ask you a question. Have you ever experienced a day where you didn't have an agenda, didn't have focused things to do and achieve and get through? If you didn't have a clear agenda, then you found your day being filled with stuff, with noise, okay, that was not enriching, not inspiring, and it just seemed to be one problem after another, after another, after another. Have you ever experienced anything like that, where your day is literally just filled up with frustrations and low priority junk? And essentially, unless you're filling your day with high priority actions where you are consciously and deliberately bringing order into your life, nature's going to disorganize it, because nature abhors a vacuum, because that's what you're creating when you're not creating order, when you're not living in order. And it's the very same with money. It's exactly the same as money, because we're turning energy into matter, right? So like if you're living life by high priority actions every single day where you've got order, there's no space for disorder. Okay, that's the same with money. Money needs order. If you have order in your financial realm, in your financial world, in terms of, you know where you are investing, you know where you are saving, you know where you are spending, you know where you are bringing in income, and you are consciously growing that, and you have assets that are generating income, where there's order in your finances, right from being aware of where it's coming from to how it is going out and where it is growing, the more order you have in that realm, no matter how little you're starting with, the more you will actually grow it, the more you will actually grow it. Sorry, Sandy, I see your comment here. I'm just going to take a look here. Sorry. I just seen your comment about it's not working. Not sure why. Let's have a look here on my. It's not sure, Sandy. It's going here on my phone, so I'm not sure why you're experiencing problems. Maybe watch the recording. But just like as I was saying a moment ago, just like the book by Schrodinger, What is Life, when he wrote about entropy, In other words, disorder, when the nature creates disorder in your life, if you don't have order in your finances, entropy will take over. Okay, so disorder will take over. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It really doesn't matter. Even if you are listening to me now and you're in debt, or you're not sure about income right now, you're not sure about the amount of income or how long, with all the uncertainty going on right now, don't allow that to impact the order you bring to your finances. Okay, it really is vital that you don't allow the current distractions to bring disorder to your finances. Just like the physics of Schrodinger, that what he experimented with, what he proved, what he talked about in his book right back in 1940s. I think he wrote his book in 1944. But just like what he spoke about in terms of the physics of entropy and how that creates disorder in our lives by us not living life by high priority actions, the same will go for our finances. If we don't have order in our finances, entropy will take hold and there will be disorder in our finances. It's like I always say, the extent to which you are clear, the extent to which you're clear on your vision, clear on what you would love to create in your life, and only to that extent is the extent to which you will create. Okay. And only to that extent. I mean, the extent of your clarity will give you the extent of your vision, will give you the extent of your ability to create it. It's the same with your wealth building. It's the same with your finances. The extent of which you are clear about your finances and your financial wealth building, your planning, and the energy you put to your finances will be the extent to which you will grow that, because there will be always order. And then when you've got order, it will compound naturally, it will exponentially compound over time. Just like Darren Hardy says in his book, the small things done consistently over time is what actually compounds. So I want you to take away from today the concept of bringing order to where there's disorder. So any area of your life where you've got disorder, bring order to it. Focus, what is it that is making it disorderly, including your finances? Start bringing order to it. Start bringing structure to it, okay? Because, and the one way you're going to do that is by actively taking high priority actions. So any area of your life you're not empowered, you will be overpowered. If you're not empowered financially, you can't be empowered in life. So where are you not empowered? And become empowered. One of the most powerful things you can do in terms of starting to become financially empowered is bring order to your finances. Do not let nature's natural way of things bring disorder to it. Because when you bring disorder to your finances, finances whittle away. Okay, so I just wanted to come and share that short message that any area you've got disorder, bring order to it, because that is where you become empowered. And the most significant and powerful way you can grow your life is filling your day with high priority actions, because in that way, when you're doing that, you are most inspired most of the time. And it's only in that inspired state can you bring real powerful order to all areas of your life and build wealth. Okay, so before I finish off, I just want to say one thing. I'm going to reiterate this several times over the next coming weeks and possibly months. There's a lot of talk at the moment about potential recession and depressions and all this sort of stuff. But I want you to understand one thing, that for every drama you hear about recession, every company you see being reported having closed down with hundreds of jobs or thousands of jobs at risk or whatever it is, I want you to, in that moment, understand that life is balance. That at the same time there is destruction or disorganization, somewhere else there is order and construction. So what is not reported in the media, and it's not popular, it's not newsworthy, it's what they say, if it bleeds, it leads, I think it's the saying. What I want you to understand is that for every job that you see or read about that's being lost, there is somewhere else something being created, because life is balance. So, but it's not reported. This is the time for startups. This is the time for creativity. This is the time when phenomenal projects are launched, phenomenal businesses are launched that will change the landscape of society. It happens at every single recession and depression. So I want you to give yourself permission that if for every time you hear this drama, not to get sucked into it, but see the order of it, not the disorder of it. Okay? Because there is always, where there's disorder, there will be order. Where there's order, there will be disorder. Okay? So, like, for example, when you bring order to your finances, somewhere else there will be disorder. Okay? But I would urge you to always ensure that you have order to your finances, because if you're not financially empowered, you cannot be empowered in life. Okay, so I just leave you with that. And if you're not in the Wealth Breakthrough group, come and join us. I'll put the link below, because on Friday, we're going to go deeper onto this subject of entropy and the opposite to entropy. Okay, I shall see you then. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.